Alright, let's start by drawing a circle. And as you can see, it is closer to the top of the page than to the bottom of the page. Hi, Yuki. Yuki is being silly in the background. Okay, now let's draw a line down the middle of this circle. This is going to show us where the precise middle of the face is, and it doesn't really matter how long you make this line. You can do it from the top to the bottom of the paper, but just to save time when erasing, I had it extend down only a couple of inches, and it really doesn't have to go off the top at all. Now we're going to divide the circle again, this time in half. This way. This time in half. Diagonally, I believe is what you would say. And from here, we will extend this out just a little, and where this line, this straight line, intersects with part of the circle, we will have a line coming down. I'm going to put a line at the bottom, the very edge of the circle, and this line is going to extend down to it, and we're going to do the same to the other side. Now we're going to bring these two lines together at a much softer angle than we did for the girl's face, because we're going to have the boy's face a lot longer than the girl's, because that will make him look less cute, baby cute, I suppose. It will make him look older. So that's what we're going to do. And now I'm going to erase this middle one just to make things a little clearer. We can erase this at the bottom and this at the top. Now, we are going to divide the face in half again, only this time we're going to divide the halves in half. So about at the halfway mark, these two parts of the face, we do lines down a couple inches off the bottom of the face, and this shows us where the neck will be. And I'm just going to erase this real quick. And I'm going to make this look a little better, so I'm just going to curve the lines inward a little so that his neck doesn't look quite so weird. And I'm going to do the shoulders later. Right now, let us put in the eyes. We're going to divide this bottom half of the circle in half, about that much. That's about the halfway mark. And this is where we're going to put the eyes. The top of this line is where the eyebrows will go, and I'll just scribble in something there, and then that is how the eyes are going to be. We are kind of dividing it into thirds. We have one part here and one part here and one part here. The little bit off the edge doesn't count. It's important for it to be there, but we don't want to obsess over measuring that too much. Let's make the curves of the face look a little better before we go on. And now, let's put in the ears before we start on the detail of the eyes. Now, like in all the other videos, the ears are as high as the eyes. So we're going to make this teardrop thing. And another one over here. And we're going to check if they're even. And wow, for once they actually are. So I'm just going to shave this down a little bit. And this at the bottom. And now, from the halfway point, about a little above the halfway point in the ear, this is the halfway point, we're going to go a little above. We're going to have a line curving down just below the halfway point. And then, at this point, the halfway point, we're going to do a half circle. And we're going to do the same for the other ear. Now let's do the eyes. we're going to do a curve at the top that almost touches the edges of these guideline boxes, but not quite. We don't want this character at least to have very big eyes. And we're just going to fit a circle into those arches. And unlike the girl's eyes, which will curve down very gently, his eyes will have a sharp point here. So we just curve this down a little past the circle, then bring down a sharp line that leans against the circle. And let's make this a little darker so that we can see it. And now, right in the middle of the eyes, we're going to do a half oval. It's sort of a bold U sort of thing. And these are the pupils. Now, we are going to put in the lights, the highlights of the eye. These are not going to be quite so big as they were on the female character. So we're going to make this little bubble significantly smaller. And then we will divide this in half. And we're going to then arch this line upwards and erase the original half mark. And the top half will be very, very dark. And as you can see, we're shading in the pupil as well. So the top half is very dark, and while the bottom half is much lighter. Now let's erase the guidelines before we put in the final little details. We have to elongate this slightly and cut down on the top lashes here that I accidentally put in. So we only make that line about half as long as it was before, and we'll make this longer, put that there, and fix that circle. And since this is a boy, the point is to make him not look pretty, and sometimes putting in the lower lashes or eyelid can make a character look older or not as pretty, but for a boy that's a good thing. So I just extended this line, and now let's do the eyebrows. The eyebrows are not going to be much thicker than a girl's, only slightly, and we're going to have them curve down just a little to make him look strong and nearly like he's determined or something. And then that's that for the eyes. Now we'll move down to the nose and mouth. The mouth is going to go just beneath this line that shows us where the jawline is. We might move it up later on as we see how the face comes together. And the male character, his nose is going to be larger than the girl's. So we have the bridge of the nose, and the way you can figure out how to draw this is draw a curving line down from the eyebrow. You can choose which way you want it to be coming, but I want it to be coming from this side. And you actually don't have that line visible until it is at about the halfway point of the eye. And you erase it when it is just below the eye. And then we will put in the bottom of the nose, and this is just something that you can experiment with. You can see where you want it, but it's going to be that same V shape. I'm going to put it a little more to the left. It's pretty much that same V shape as the girl's mouth, a shallow V. And let's thicken his jaw and not have his chin be so dainty. I'm actually going to make it a little squared off here, as you can see, like a sort of rounded square, instead of a slender, it coming to a slender point at the bottom. That is very good for some Bishi styles, but I'm not doing a Bishi style right now. I'm just touching up right now. Before we continue, if you guys want to get any quick erasing done, this is a good time for that. Okay, now we're going to put in his shoulders. Since this is, one, an older character, and two, a male character, his shoulders are going to be considerably longer. Normally, the shoulders would only come out this far if it was a girl or a very young boy character, but this is an older boy character, so we're going to have him come out about half an inch further than that. And as you can see, I'm sloping them down just slightly. And then those are the shoulders.